Hello, welcome to The Daily Juice. I'm your host, Shardene Blake, and this is your pep talk before you start your day. Today's pep talk is all about how to stop worrying, how to stop spending the majority of your time worrying about things that haven't happened, things that may never happen, things that might seem so far in the future that you are not enjoying the present moment right now. I've experienced this. I'm totally talking from experience. I have wasted so many hours, days, months, probably years of my life worrying about things that have never transpired, that have absolutely nothing to do with me and are completely out of my control. And it's painful looking back and thinking that was a massive waste, And I discovered a way to stop worrying. So when I had my children, I developed this fear of flying that I never had before. And I went on holiday and I sat on the plane and I just thought, this is horrendous. Whereas before, I loved a flight. I loved every part of going away. And I just felt tense, I felt sick, nervous, like all these emotions. I just thought, I'm so scared of flying. I'm so scared of this plane taking off. And an experience that I used to love, I just didn't love anymore. And so I just so happened to take a book on holiday with me on that particular holiday, and it was called How to Stop Worrying and Start Living by Dale Carnegie, the same author of the book How to Win Friends and Influence People. And he said in this book, and this honestly is like the best thing that I did in the terms of overcoming this worrying. And it said in the book, right, if you are worried about something, if you're doing something and you're worried about the outcome, just think about what the worst case scenario is for you and accept that. So I was like, right, so the worst case scenario when I fly is that I die, which I'm definitely going to do at some point, somewhere along the line. That's definitely going to happen. So I have to accept that. So I have to accept when I get on a plane, the absolute worst case scenario is the plane could crash and I could die. And I have to make peace with that. And so, okay, I think I could do that, because that's the same scenario that could happen every single day in everything I do. And flying is actually, there's less chance of that happening. And it just flipped a switch for me. So then I started applying it to other things. So I would think, if I was excessively worrying about something, now, like, it's totally normal to worry about things and weigh things up and think, oh, is this a good idea or not a good idea? That's like totally normal. I was getting obsessive about it to the point where I thought the thought of flying would ruin my entire holiday, because I wouldn't enjoy it because I was too busy worrying about getting the flight home. So what's the point in going? So I needed to overcome this. So I just thought, right, I'm going to accept for the next week or 2 weeks, however long the holiday was, that if I get on this plane and the plane crashes and I die, I can accept that right now in this moment. And it like flipped the switch, and I just started enjoying myself and like thinking about other things. And it was like magic. And then I got on the plane and I thought, oh, so this is going to work. And I just sat there and thought, well, there's always a chance that this plane could crash and I could die. And I accept that. And then just enjoyed the flight. And I just watched a film and I just thought, okay. And at any time that I felt a bit nervous, I'd just take a deep breath and think, oh, I accept that. And I just moved on. And then this is the other part of this, because it might be a bit too much for your brain to think, right, or I just accept that I might die. We don't just want to end on that note. And the other part of this is when we've come to stop worrying. So we think the worst case scenario, okay, well, I'll accept that. And then I focused on what I did want. So I would be on the plane and think, right, what I want to be doing, what I do want is to get home. I want to be at home, relaxing, or going to bed at home, or doing something at home. Or the next day think, I'm going to get up tomorrow and I'm going to meet my friend for coffee. I'm going to go and work out, or whatever it was. And focusing on that helped me relax and helped my mind just quieten down so much, I can't even tell you. So instead of worrying about what you don't want all the time and making your brain be like, oh, let's look for that thing that we don't want, Give it something that you do want and give it that to focus on instead of what you don't want. So if you're worrying about money and you just say, right, what is the worst case scenario here? I accept that, right, I move on and I think about what do I want? I want to be secure, I want to have X amount of money in the bank, I want to be able to spend money on whatever it is that I want to spend it on, and focus on that. Focusing on what you do want just frees your mind so much, and it gives you confidence. It gives you confidence to move forward with things. It's very hard to move forward if you're constantly thinking about what can go wrong, or expecting things to go wrong, or giving your mind the task to find all the evidence to suggest that something's going to go wrong, which in turn will give your mind the task of looking for opportunities to take that will take you down the path of things going wrong. So accept the worst case scenario and focus on what you do want. Just spend today focusing on what you do want. I can tell you this, this is how much I used to worry about everything. I would go to bed worrying about things that might not even have anything to do with me, things I might have read in the newspaper, seen on the news, and I would feel sick with anxiety and I'd eventually fall asleep. And when I woke up, my first thought of the day was, what's wrong? What's the bad things that's happened? What happened yesterday that was wrong? And then I drag it into tomorrow. And that was just no good for my mental health. I think it's good for anybody's mental health. For that to be the start of your day, what's wrong is just going to set you up to look for what's wrong in the rest of the day, the entirety of the day. I never do that anymore. I wake up and I'm like, thank you for another day. Let's go. What am I doing today? Those are my first thoughts. And appreciation and excitement. And I can't believe the difference in how I used to live my life. Huge difference. And I just feel so much happier. My mental health is so much better. And I feel like I have so much more energy and joy for life. And it's thanks to these little mindset hacks that I want to share with you. So to stop worrying, accept the worst case scenario, and then pivot and think about what it is that you do want. So go and think about all the things that you want and go and have the most amazing day. And I will see you so soon for some more Daily Juice. Bye. Thanks for watching. Remember to like, subscribe and turn on your notifications.